Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Today we have a really nice topic, something that I guess would identify a lot closer to coin roll hunters in terms of searching for errors. Probably sometime in your treasure hunting excursions, you've come across a coin that looks similar to this. As you can see, it's a Jefferson Nickel. The only thing that really stands out about it is the fact that it looks slightly off-center. So it's neat, it kind of piques the curiosity a little bit. But when you flip it over, okay, you have the reverse of this nickel, and the back looks looks centered, as if something weird just happened to where only the front of the coin is slightly off-centered, and the reverse, nothing's wrong with it. This is what they call a misaligned die. Okay, and to put it in the most simplest of explanations of what it is if you could imagine a coin being struck. Okay, every coin struck requires what? 2 dies, right? So you have what they call the anvil die, which usually sits stationary, doesn't move. Usually it's the reversed impression of a coin that's on this anvil die. Which makes sense, okay? And you have this die that's surrounded by what they call a collar. So when a planchet blank, a coin blank before it's even struck, gets inserted into this collar, it sits in there perfectly. So that way you have the perfect alignment to the coin to that reverse die. So you have the anvil die, which is stationary, and then you have what is called a hammer die. This is what comes down with a lot of force and pressure, and then kind of sandwiches the coin between the anvil die and the hammer die, which usually has the obverse details of the coin. Okay, so let's say in this case, and you'll see it on a lot of misaligned died coins, which it's the recurring theme. As to the phenomena in all of this, is that you're going to see the off-centered appearance traditionally on the obverse or the front face of the coin more so than the reverse, because again, that anvil die with the reverse die impression doesn't move. Okay, so the hammer die, which sometimes if it's not aligned correctly and it strikes a coin, it'll strike the front of the coin or the obverse of the coin slightly off. In order to make a perfect coin, okay, those 2 dies need to strike together in perfect alignment. So if the hammer die is slightly off center, that's where you get this type of error. Okay, so the example that you see before you, this 1981 Philadelphia Jefferson Nickel, is a minor look into the misaligned die error type coins. Okay, it's a very minor look. Where these become really desirable and in a sense more valuable to other collectors is when you have a lot of the edge features, like in this case in God We Trust, is starting to fall off the edge a little bit. Okay, so the more that top die becomes aligned, okay, it looks more off-center, is where it's going to be worth a lot more money and a lot more interest to collectors. So here is another Jefferson Nickel. This one is a little bit more extreme. It's kind of attractive in a sense that you have the front obverse face of this coin so far off center that a lot of the edge wording has fallen off the edge of the coin to where it's non-existent. This is really cool, and these are the type of coins that traditionally sell. So I'm gonna give you a pretty big range here. I've seen some sell in the $25 all the way up to over $100 range, depending on how radical that obverse misalignment is on these coins. So this example here for this Jefferson Nickel is one I would say would qualify in that $25 to $50 range if you were to find one and then sell it. Okay, error collectors do love these coins because the more radical they are, the more they sell for. So here's the reverse of the coin. As you can see, it's well centered. on this one. So you know, if you have that radical shifting obverse face of the misaligned die and a perfectly centered back, you know you have a misaligned die, or what they call in short MAD, M-A-D, a MAD die type coin. All right, so we have this one here, and I have a few others that I'm going to show you. Here's a dime. This one actually has the obverse and the reverse on one picture to help better illustrate what I mean when one side, the obverse with the face, is a lot more shifted than the back. The back is perfectly centered, nothing's falling off the edge. So this is a classic misaligned die item and not a off-center error, which sometimes it's easily mistakable in this. The big difference is on an off-center error, the reverse will be off-center as well to the front obverse face of the coin. Okay, so, and what I'd also like to show you is this absolutely wicked candy half dollar right here. It's superb. It's amazing. You have a lot of shift on the obverse face of this coin. Okay, if you look on the reverse is perfect. Okay, but see how much shift there is on from the obverse to the reverse, and usually where you have a lot of that what appears to be off center on the obverse, you'll have a little bit of weakening on the reverse on that same area. So that's going to be another telltale sign that you have a classic misaligned die. There's really no easy way of faking these errors. There really isn't, unless you cut a coin in half and then did some major filing, you know, which even still it's impossible because it's just not going to look right. All right, so that's what misaligned dies are. These come up quite a bit in coin roll hunting. Most folks would not pay enough attention to the error to pull them aside, but if you really take notice, you know, if you're just starting to get into coin roll hunting, you take notice of something, oh, this one looks a little funny, you know, because it looks or appears off center, that's certainly something I would keep aside. Even the minor misaligned dies would sell in the $1 to $5 range if you're lucky, but you know, the more you have, the better, and it's certainly something I would pull out while you're going through change, pocket change, coin roll hunting. So, you know, nice little video tutorial on misaligned die errors. While it's not one of the most expensive errors out there, it's the one that we see most of in coin roll hunting, aside from like laminations and you know, like what's that, you know, just struck through debris and thread and all that stuff. So thank you for watching this neat episode on misaligned dies, and I look forward to more stuff in the future. All right, you guys have a fantastic evening, and I'll talk to you soon.